Hi today from the beautiful Ragusa on the island of Sicily in Italy. Today I will tell you about a special billionaire principle that you can use today already. You can apply it right away. What it is and how to use it, you will find out after a very short break. See you. Hi again from Ragusa. What is this mysterious principle? What is this billionaire method that you can apply today, that you can apply now, and that will allow you to achieve great things, sometimes maybe impossible things. Of course, this is one of the methods of the billionaires, but this is a good one that you could take advantage of today, right now. Namely, I would call it take two or take both. What is it about? Very often in life you are faced with alternatives and with the choice that you have to choose one of the two alternatives. Either you want to have, let's say, a very fast computer, notebook, or you want to have a notebook that saves energy. You can't have it both. Or either you want to have durable, very durable shoes, or you want to have cheap shoes. You don't want to spend much money. You can't have both, right? Or maybe you have, let's say, a tent, a touristic tent. Either you will have a very heavy tent that will, let's say, be durable and that will protect you from cold, or you will have a light tent that is easy to carry, but it won't be durable and it won't be very protective from cold. So you are very often faced with this choice to choose one of the alternatives, because as you know, the popular wisdom says, you can't have it all in life. So you have to choose between two alternatives. But what is the billionaire's approach? What is the mysterious method that billionaires use and apply in their life and business? I call it take two or take both. So they are trying to find a way to somehow take advantage of both alternatives, not to choose between these two alternatives. They want to have both in one product or in one solution, and they always find a way to somehow connect these two options and not have to choose, and take advantage of all the strengths of both options, and remove all the weaknesses, all the disadvantages of both options. And this is the way, one of the ways, of course, how they achieve so much in business, extraordinary things, unbelievable things. And this is this principle to trying to find a way to achieve both. This is the way that you can apply today, that you can apply now, and that will make you so much more successful in life and business. In order to illustrate to you, to explain to you how it works with billionaires, I give you the example of Elon Musk. Elon Musk, you certainly know, probably the greatest entrepreneur of all times, certainly of our times. He started the company SpaceX in the year 2002. SpaceX is a space industry company. They specialize in producing renewable rockets. Rockets that can land after they are used for the payload to go to the space. Then the rocket that is generally the engine and the fuel container that is used to bring the payload into the space. That part is disconnected then from the payload and can land safely without being destroyed on Earth. And this is what Elon Musk does in his company SpaceX. And he invested in this SpaceX company in 2002, started that company, and had many failures at the beginning. 4 or 5 failures, 4 or 5 rockets were destroyed, and such a rocket is an extremely expensive thing to build. Also the rocket engines, because especially they are all prototypes, they are all handmade. At least at the beginning they were all handmade, they were very innovative. Of course, all the electronic and all the controllers and so on and so on. It costed a lot of money, and they were very close to being bankrupt. He ran out of his budget in the company. He got loans, whatever. It was a very difficult time, especially at the beginning. They were losing a lot of money, and this company needed his full-time attention, which of course he was giving this company his full-time attention, it needed his time and also his brain juice. He was spending 24/7 at that company. He was sleeping on the floor in the factory in order to somehow get this company running, overcome this initial problems. And then an innovator in the electric car industry approached him and convinced him to invest in Tesla. In Tesla 2004, Elon Musk got fascinated by electromobility, by electric cars, and this mission to make cars, so to say, mainstream, make electric cars mainstream. And he got convinced to invest in Tesla. But then he realized that Eberhard, or the guys who were running Tesla until then, were really not the best entrepreneurs. And that company would fail with them at the helm. And he realized he would need not only to be a major investor in the company, but also to run this company as CEO. The challenge was he was completely occupied with SpaceX at that time, and SpaceX is in Los Angeles, and Tesla headquarters and is in close to San Francisco. So this was a major challenge because the companies, they were in an initial state. He needed to oversee the tech of this company, the production, and of course motivate the employees and consult with the employees on daily basis. And it wasn't possible to run these companies from one office. He needed to take care directly of these companies, be surrounded by the employees, and these companies were, let's say, 500 miles away from each other. So what to do? People were telling him he would either need, like all the consultants, all his friends and family was telling him he needed either to give up on SpaceX, sell it, or maybe just let it be bankrupt, because it was close to bankruptcy. It was almost bankrupt. So just give up trying to turn around that company. So this was one option, and then focus on Tesla, on this new company, upcoming company, or just forget this Tesla, this vision of bringing electromobility to cars, and focus on the company that he spent 2 years with already, that he invested so much of his money into, and that was failing, and just to try to turn it around. So he had these two options. What did Elon Musk? Of course, he said, let's do both. I will do both. He doubled up on his efforts to run these companies, and actually ended up spending half of the week in Los Angeles running SpaceX, and the other part of the week in San Francisco running Tesla. and of course spending 24/7 working on these two companies, sleeping on the floors in the factories, and so on and so on. It was a hardcore effort for him, taking a lot of his time, a lot of his effort, a lot of his brain juice, but this was his solution to this problem. Instead of deciding or taking one of the options, he decided for taking both of the options, although it was extremely difficult to do so. Nevertheless, he succeeded, and today Tesla is one of the leaders in the electromobility, and SpaceX is a very good, very successful company that revolutionized the space industry. So you see how this works out for billionaires. This is an illustration of this principle from the perspective of billionaires. So why I am talking about this from Ragusa? Because this town is a perfect example for this principle. At the end of 17th century, Ragusa, the old Ragusa, the medieval town of Ragusa that was situated on a top of a hill, was completely destroyed by an earthquake. And the rulers of this area here had a dilemma whether they should rebuild this old Ragusa that was, of course, a medieval town with a medieval street network, or construct a modern town close by with a modern street network, a street plan, like a rectangular street plan. It was the time of Baroque, end of 17th century, so the planners of that time had this idea of having rectangular streets, like the streets you have in the United States in almost every town. But of course, this was a challenge to do that on a hill that had circular streets, like going around the hill, and of course going the slopes that were going up and down. An idea of a rectangular street plan in that location was very difficult to implement, especially that there was remaining bases of the buildings that after the destruction by the earthquake. So what they decide? They applied this same rule: take two, take both. They constructed two Ragusas. One, the modern one, that is called Ragusa Superior, is the one behind me on a plateau, on a top hill plateau close by to the old Ragusa. That is behind me. They reconstructed the old Ragusa, meaning they took the same street plan as in the old Ragusa, built modern, at that time modern Baroque palazzi and churches, of course also regular houses on the street plan of the old Ragusa, and they built this modern planistic Ragusa, Ragusa Superior, on the top of the nearby hill behind me on this plateau. And here this one is called Ragusa Igla. So they constructed two Ragusas, and they are like beautiful towns. Both of them are in a Baroque style, but different, so to say. The romantic one with this antique touch, and the modern one with this planistic approach. So they constructed two wonders of the world, you could say, that are magnets for tourists today, and they made Ragusa very successful with that. And they are of course connected by roads, by a serpentine road, but also by stairs, 200 something stairs that connect the old Ragusa with the bottom Ragusa with the top Ragusa. So this is another application of this principle. I wish you to apply in your life and business to find a way to take both, to take two and not to decide for one of the alternatives. I hope you like this video. If yes, give me a thumb up. If not, of course, thumb down. Subscribe if you haven't. There is a bell button. Press it. Choose the how often you want to get notified. Share this video with your loved ones, with your friends. One day they will thank you for that. I talk here a lot about doing business on the highest level, thinking on the level how our modern billionaires do, the best entrepreneurs in our world. I talk a lot about economy, I talk about money, I talk about doing great impossible things in life and business. I talk also about cryptocurrencies from time to time, so if you like this video, you will certainly like my other videos. I invite you to watch them. That's it for today from Ragusa. I wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.